Let me ask you something no one else will. If he stopped calling, texting, or pulling away, are you still the same woman he was once chasing? The truth is, most women don't lose the guy because they said the wrong thing. They lose him because they shifted their energy without realizing it. You start the relationship radiant, mysterious, magnetic, and then somewhere along the line you become available, predictable, and too emotionally invested too soon. And guess what? That's when he stops chasing. But it's not your fault. You've been taught that showing more effort brings you closer, that love means always being there, that if you don't chase, you'll lose him. That's a lie. Men don't stay for effort. They stay for energy. And the woman who understands this wins the game. Not by playing games, but by knowing how to embody a certain energy that makes a man feel like he's constantly earning her attention, her presence, and her heart. In this video, I'm not giving you cliches. I'm revealing the real reason he pulls away, and more importantly, how to reverse that energy so you become the prize again. Because once you embody this specific irresistible energy, he will chase you forever. Let's get into the shift that changes everything. Let's talk about the one mistake that repels men more than anything. And it's not what you think. It's not being too emotional. It's not texting first. It's not even being too available. The biggest mistake women make with men is trying to prove their worth. You see, the moment you feel like you have to earn his love, his attention, his commitment, you've already handed over your power. And that energy, it's not attractive. It's desperate. Now, here's what makes this so tricky. Proving your worth can look really innocent on the outside. It looks like being understanding, showing support, being there when he needs you, trying to impress him, or trying to be the perfect woman. But underneath all of that, the message is, please pick me. Please see how valuable I am. Please realize I'm better than the others. Here's the truth that most women don't hear. The woman who gets chosen is never the one trying to prove anything. She's the one who already knows who she is. She's not chasing his attention. She's not competing with other women. She's not constantly adjusting herself to be more appealing. Why? Because she's rooted in her own energy. She knows that she is the table. When you stop trying to prove you're good enough, something magical happens. The dynamic shifts. Men start to feel like they have to prove something to you. And that's when the chase begins. I'm trying to secure your love because I don't believe I naturally deserve it. And men can feel that. They may not consciously know what's off, but instinctively they feel less drawn to a woman who's seeking approval instead of standing in her own value. So the shift is simple, but powerful. Stop trying to convince him to like you. Start expressing who you truly are, without apology or performance. Here's how this mistake plays out in real life. You go out of your way to be available, even when your schedule is full. You initiate most conversations because you're afraid of silence. You overthink every word he says, analyzing it for signs of affection. You abandon your standards because you're afraid he might walk away. All of these behaviors scream, you are not here to audition for a man's affection. You're here to be the kind of woman who attracts love by embodying confidence, standards, and self-trust. When you drop the need to prove, you rise into the kind of energy that naturally makes him chase. And he won't just chase you, he'll respect you, desire you, and stay committed to you long term. So what exactly is magnetic energy and why does it make men chase, commit, and stay loyal? Let's break it down clearly. Magnetic energy is not about how you look. It's not about wearing red lipstick, having the perfect curves, or dressing like a goddess. Those things may grab attention, but they don't create pull. True magnetic energy is a frequency, not a performance. It's the unspoken message a woman sends when she walks into a room without needing to be seen, but still gets noticed. It's the energy of, I know who I am and I don't need your validation to feel complete. That kind of self-contained power. Irresistible. You know how to receive compliments, support, love. Without deflecting or downplaying them, you can hold emotional space. You're not afraid of silence, tension, or uncertainty. You're not reactive. You respond with maturity, not fear. You're in your body, present, feminine, and self-aware, not living in your head, trying to overthink every interaction. In short, you become the calm in his chaos. And that's what pulls men in deeper. Most women operate from a wounded space of how can I keep him interested? Magnetic women ask, is this aligned with the kind of love I deserve? One is chasing, the other is attracting. Here's the kicker. Men can feel magnetic energy, even if they can't explain it. It's the vibe that says, I'm not desperate for love. I am love. I don't need you to complete me. I'm already whole. If you want access to me, you rise to meet me. I don't lower my standards. This energy isn't about arrogance. It's about inner stability. It's about knowing that your value isn't based on what you do for a man, but who you are when you're fully in your truth. And when a man encounters this energy, something happens in him. He feels challenged, intrigued, and inspired all at once. He can't figure out why he's thinking about you all the time, why he's replaying your words, why you're different. That's magnetic energy. It's not loud. It doesn't beg. It simply pulls. And the best part, it's not something you fake. It's something you build from within. Let's get real. Feminine power gets thrown around a lot online, but most women have no idea what it actually means or how to live it in a grounded, magnetic, and powerful way. So I'm going to break this down for you in clear, practical steps. No fluff, no abstract vibes, just the real process of how to step into your feminine power so deeply that he feels it before you speak. Because feminine power isn't weakness. It's not being submissive or quiet. It's not about shrinking yourself to make a man feel strong. It's about learning how to stop leading with masculine energy and start trusting your presence, your intuition, and your receptivity. The first shift starts in your body. Feminine power isn't intellectual, it's felt. If you're constantly in your head, overanalyzing what he said, checking your phone for his texts, or retelling conversations, you're disconnected. Masculine energy lives in the mind. Feminine power lives in the body. Start with breath. Pause throughout the day and take a few deep inhales into your belly. Drop your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Move. Dance. Stretch. Do anything that reminds you that your body isn't just something you decorate. It's where your power lives. The more present you are in your body, the more men will feel your energy without needing you to say a word. Next, you have to stop over-explaining yourself. When you feel like you have to justify your boundaries, your feelings or your desires, you're actually leaking power. Feminine energy doesn't beg to be understood. It simply exists, grounded in self-trust. If something doesn't feel right, you don't owe anyone a 5-paragraph explanation. No is a full sentence. Silence can say more than a script. Learn to communicate from your center, not from a place of fear or overthinking. Let your tone be steady. Let your energy be self-assured. That's what captures attention and holds respect. One of the most powerful shifts is learning to trust the pull, not the push. You are not here to chase. You are not here to convince someone to choose you. Feminine power leans back and trusts that what's meant for her will move toward her. This doesn't mean you sit and do nothing. It means you stop gripping. Stop trying to force a label, a text, a commitment. Let space do its job. If he's unsure about you, let him feel your absence. If he's inconsistent, don't compensate by becoming more available. A man can only rise into his masculine when you stop stepping into it for him. Another key to embodying feminine power is learning how to receive. Most women give endlessly, attention, affection, time, but struggle to fully receive. Why? Because receiving requires vulnerability. Start small. When someone compliments you, accept it. When a man offers help, let him, even if you could do it yourself. When love shows up, don't immediately start proving you're worthy of it. Let it in. Receiving silently communicates, I am valuable without earning. That's a frequency few women truly live in, and it's magnetic. Finally, you must know your standards and live them. Feminine power isn't just softness. It's having steel beneath the softness. You can be warm and nurturing and still have rock-solid boundaries. Decide what you will and will not tolerate. Don't lower your standards to keep someone interested. Raise your energy and watch who steps up. The woman who holds her standard without drama is the one who commands deep, lasting respect. Once you begin living this way, everything changes. You no longer chase validation. You no longer bend to fit someone else's desires. You become a woman who leads with energy, not effort. And in doing so, you become the woman a man doesn't just want to date. He wants to keep. There's one mindset shift that, when you fully understand and embody it, will completely transform the way men respond to you. It will flip the entire dynamic, not because you're saying the right words or doing the right things, but because your energy becomes different. And once your energy changes, everything else follows. Here it is. You are not trying to win him. He is trying to win you. Most women approach dating with the subconscious belief that they're auditioning for a role in a man's life. They think, if I show how loyal, supportive, understanding, low maintenance, or sexy I am, maybe he'll see my worth and choose me. But that belief, even when unspoken, is what drives men away. Because the moment you treat yourself like a contestant, you stop being the prize. This mindset is sneaky. It shows up in small ways. You wait anxiously for his text instead of living your life. You excuse his mixed signals because you think his potential matters more than your peace. You hold on to crumbs because somewhere inside you believe that's all you're allowed to have. But when you carry the belief that love must be earned through effort, you radiate scarcity, and men feel it. Now imagine this instead. You walk into every interaction with the quiet, unshakable belief that your time is sacred, your energy is rare, and your presence is a gift. You no longer ask, does he like me? You start asking, do I even enjoy how I feel around him? That simple reversal makes you magnetic, not because you're cold, but because you're no longer needy. You're no longer waiting to be chosen. You've already chosen yourself. The woman who embodies this mindset doesn't chase clarity. She doesn't beg for reassurance. She doesn't stick around hoping a man will change. She knows what she brings to the table, and she won't sit at a table where she has to remind anyone of her value. And here's what's powerful. This kind of energy doesn't have to be loud or aggressive. It's calm. It's subtle, but it shifts the atmosphere. A man knows when he's in the presence of a woman who doesn't seek his approval. She listens without trying to impress. She connects without clinging. She allows space without fearing loss. And because she's unattached to the outcome, she becomes the outcome. That's the shift. You stop operating from fear of rejection, abandonment, or not being enough. And you start operating from wholeness. And from that space, you don't have to manipulate, prove, or chase. You lead with trust. You trust that if something is meant for you, it will rise to meet you. You trust that if a man pulls away, it's protection, not punishment. You trust that you don't have to lose yourself to gain love. This is not just mindset work, it's identity work. You are no longer the woman who needs to be picked. You are the woman who is already chosen by herself, by her standards, by her energy. And when you walk like that, speak like that, and love like that, the right man will feel it. He'll know that he's not dealing with someone hoping to be worthy. He's dealing with a woman who already knows she is. That energy doesn't just change how men treat you. It changes how you treat yourself. It changes what you tolerate, what you expect, and what you attract. Because when your mindset shifts from chasing love to being love, you stop settling for scraps and start receiving everything you were always meant to have. There's something that men deeply crave in a woman, but they rarely say it out loud. Not because they're hiding it, but because many don't fully understand it themselves. It's not about looks. It's not about sex. It's not even about how much you love or support them. What men truly crave, what ignites their loyalty, their devotion, and their desire to commit, is the feeling of emotional safety in your presence. And emotional safety doesn't mean walking on eggshells or avoiding confrontation. It means being the kind of woman who allows a man to be fully seen, fully felt, and fully human without shaming him for it. Most men are taught from a young age to suppress their feelings, their fears, their softness. They are taught to perform strength, but often carry silent burdens no one ever sees. So when a man meets a woman who makes him feel safe enough to not perform, that's when he connects deep. Men won't tell you this because many of them don't even realize they're starving for it. They'll say they want a woman who's confident, sexy, fun, and they do. But underneath that is a deeper desire to be with someone who doesn't punish their vulnerability, who doesn't twist their words, who doesn't make their masculinity wrong. He craves the peace of being able to be himself, not the version of himself he thinks he has to be. A woman who can hold space without trying to fix him. That's rare. A woman who can sit with his silence without taking it personally. That's magnetic. A woman who can challenge him without emasculating him. That's unforgettable. These are the things men don't put on their ideal partner checklist. But once they experience it, they can't unfeel it. What makes a man chase you long term isn't that you're always available or endlessly accommodating. It's that you give him something no one else does, a place to rest. And that doesn't mean you become his emotional dumping ground. It means you embody a softness that welcomes him without losing your own power. You listen without judgment. You communicate without attack. You express your truth with grace and boundaries. You let him be strong and scared, brave and uncertain, a leader and still learning. He won't tell his friends this. He won't bring it up over drinks. But deep down, what hooks his heart isn't just your beauty, your confidence, or your independence. It's your ability to create emotional intimacy, not by oversharing or demanding deep talks, but by being attuned, by making it safe for him to drop the armor and show up raw, knowing you'll still respect him, maybe even more. And here's the secret most women don't know. The more emotionally safe a man feels with you, the more masculine he becomes. He doesn't get weaker. He gets stronger, more present, more protective, more devoted, because now he's no longer wasting energy defending himself. He's inspired to rise for you. This is why the women who are soft and sovereign are the ones men chase forever. They aren't cold or closed. They aren't reactive or controlling. They hold a mirror up to a man's best self and say, you're safe to show me who you really are, and I'll still be here, fully in my worth. That energy is unforgettable. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. But once a man feels it, it imprints on him. And even if he doesn't have the words, he'll know this truth in his soul. I feel more like myself when I'm with her. That's what men crave, and that's what keeps them coming back. Not because they have to, but because they want to. If there's one behavior that instantly kills a man's desire to chase you, one that repels him on a deep, almost instinctual level, it's overgiving your energy to prove you're worth being chosen. Most women don't even realize they're doing it. They think they're just being caring, supportive, loyal, loving. But in reality, they're pouring from an empty cup, trying to earn love instead of receiving it. This behavior shows up in the way you text him first, all the time. You plan the dates, carry the conversations, check in constantly, just making sure everything's okay. You try to be the understanding one, the easy one, the one who never complains. You lower your expectations, accept the bare minimum. Convince yourself to be patient and call it loyalty. But underneath, it's fear. The fear that if you don't keep showing up, he'll disappear. That if you stop proving your value, he'll forget it. Here's the truth. Men don't chase what they already feel they've completely won, especially if they didn't earn it. When you're always available, always accommodating, always the one reaching out and holding things together, you take away his reason to pursue. His masculine energy wants the pursuit. He needs the space to lean in. But if you're already leaning in for both of you, there's nothing left for him to do. And that makes him lose interest, not because you're not enough, but because there's no polarity, no tension, no interest. When a man feels like you're trying to secure him, it actually creates resistance. It signals that you're uncertain of your own value. And the more you give without receiving anything back, the more your energy starts to feel like pressure. He feels it. Even if you're smiling, even if you're acting chill, that silent desperation, that subtle anxiety underneath your sweetness, it makes him pull away. If you want him to chase you, you have to stop over-functioning. Stop being the emotional leader of the connection. Stop managing his side of the relationship. Stop filling in the gaps and covering for his inconsistency. Let him lead. Let him wonder. Let him show up or not. If he doesn't, that's your answer. Because when a man is truly into you, you won't have to keep feeding the fire. He'll create his own spark. But the energy that makes a man pursue isn't effort, it's presence. It's the woman who knows her value so deeply that she doesn't overextend herself to prove it. She doesn't chase clarity. She becomes clarity. She doesn't initiate constantly. She lets herself receive. And in doing so, she creates the one thing that's irresistible to a man, a gap, a space, a healthy distance that invites pursuit, not by manipulation, but by magnetism. This shift is uncomfortable at first. You'll feel tempted to reach out, to explain, to check in. But every time you hold your center, every time you choose your peace over your need for validation, you reclaim your power. And that power is what draws him in. Because a woman who doesn't need to be chased becomes the one he wants to chase. You don't need to do more. You need to be more still, more grounded, more in your knowing. The woman who stops chasing becomes the woman who is unforgettable. Attraction isn't something you just spark at the beginning and hope it stays. Long-term attraction is not about how good you look, how exciting the dates are, or how much you give to keep someone happy. It's about energy, the invisible dynamic between two people that either deepens over time or silently fades. And the truth is, most relationships don't fail because the love isn't real. They fade because the attraction isn't sustained. And that always comes down to one thing: polarity. To keep a man drawn to you, not just physically, but emotionally, energetically, you have to remain connected to your feminine essence. This doesn't mean you're passive or always soft. It means you stay rooted in your emotional truth, your playfulness, your mystery, and your ability to receive. In the beginning, attraction is easy because everything is new. But over time, routine takes over. Comfort replaces curiosity. The woman who was once magnetic becomes predictable. And the man who once pursued slowly relaxes into complacency. So how do you keep the energy alive? You maintain your own sense of separateness. That might sound counterintuitive, but here's what it really means. Never abandon your identity to merge into his world. Keep your passions alive. Maintain your rituals. Stay connected to your body, your intuition, your own life. The moment a woman loses herself in a man, he begins to lose attraction. Not because she did anything wrong, but because she stopped being the mysterious, radiant, self-sourced woman he fell for in the first place. A man stays attracted to a woman who still surprises him, not by trying to be someone new, but by staying unpredictable in her energy. One day she's playful, teasing, light. The next she's soft, reflective, and deeply present. She moves through emotional layers without apology. She doesn't flatten herself to be easy to love. She allows herself to be alive. That aliveness is what keeps him drawn in. Another powerful way to maintain attraction is through boundaries. Yes, boundaries are sexy. A woman who doesn't tolerate disrespect, who speaks her truth without fear, who removes herself from what doesn't honor her. She commands respect and ignites desire. The moment you start tolerating things just to keep the peace, attraction dies a slow death. Men are drawn to women who value themselves enough to walk away when necessary, not in a dramatic way, but in a clear, grounded, self-honoring way. And let's talk about the physical side because it matters. Not in the way you think, though. It's not about staying perfect or performing. It's about staying embodied, moving with intention, speaking with presence, touching with purpose. So many women get stuck in their heads, worrying, overanalyzing, future tripping. That mental noise pulls you out of your feminine magnetism. But when you slow down, breathe deeply, and return to the moment, you become irresistible. Because presence is rare, and presence is sexy. Finally, maintain polarity by not needing him to be your everything. He's not your therapist, your emotional diary, or your sole source of fulfillment. Yes, you share intimacy. Yes, you open your heart. But the woman who remains attractive long-term is the one who continues to inspire him to rise. She challenges him not by controlling, but by embodying such a deep level of self-worth that he wants to be a better man around her. Long-term attraction isn't about doing more. It's about becoming more of who you really are, consistently, unapologetically, and with full presence. The moment you stop outsourcing your happiness to a man, he feels the shift. He feels the heat. And that's when the chase doesn't just begin, it never ends. Now that you've got the tools the mindset, and the energy to keep him chasing, it's time to take action. The most important thing to remember is that you're never chasing a man. You're simply embodying the kind of woman who is magnetic, powerful, and deeply rooted in her own worth. The next move is simple. Start embodying the energy you want to attract. Stop seeking validation, stop overgiving, and start showing up as the woman who has everything she needs within herself. It's not about playing games or manipulating. It's about holding your ground, being true to yourself, and trusting that the right person will step up. Your energy will do the work for you. Remember, attraction isn't just about what you do. It's about who you are. When you radiate self-love, confidence, and feminine power, everything around you changes. The man you're meant to be with won't just chase you. He'll want to stay, fight for you, and build with you. Your next move, start shifting your mindset today. Start honoring yourself more than you ever have. Set clear boundaries, stay in your power, and trust that the universe will bring you exactly what you need. You're not here to chase anyone. You're here to attract the love you deserve, effortlessly. Now take this energy into your life and watch how things start shifting. If you're ready for that shift, drop a comment and let me know what resonates with you. Make sure to hit that like button, share this with your friends who need this reminder, and don't forget to subscribe for more relationship wisdom. Until next time, stay magnetic.